A sudden sickness that often ends in death. Tonight we have the story of a college student who survived meningitis only to find herself in a new battle with flesh-eating bacteria.
Christy Myers shows us the Houston team working to save her arms and legs. And we want to warn you that some of the pictures you may see are disturbing.
In November, Jamie Shanbaum contracted bacterial meningitis. The UT Austin student had a severe infection and her body almost shut down.
People were coming in and saying, we're amazed that she's alive.
Jamie survived, but she developed a rare complication. Loss of blood flow had allowed flesh-eating bacteria to attack her arms and legs.
It's like my hands are cold and really heavy.
Most people don't survive from this traumatic complication.
Now she's in a new battle to save her arms and legs. Doctors recommended amputating her legs above the knee and both hands.
It's really hard. I'm just tired of being here, and I wish I was there. Wish I was in school. She's a 20-year-old, bright, young 20-year-old college student at UT, you know. Perfectly fine one day, and the next day she's just facing all these horrible decisions.
Her mother brought her to St. Joseph's in Houston. This is Jamie's 41st treatment in a hyperbaric chamber.
The hyperbaric chamber helps Jamie by giving her concentrated oxygen. That can help her wounds to heal and stimulates new skin to grow.
For 2 hours, she lays in a glass tube, hoping the wound treatment helps. And it has. This black skin you see may be disconcerting, but look at how it has literally regenerated. And the red you see is good. It's new skin, which is still changing color.
This was a very, very severe necrosis. And with the daily therapy, you can see this area has grown new skin. And a doctor in Austin was proposing to do amputation above the knee. Now, here's a knee level. Her skin has completely grown.
She's having daily wound care, antibiotics, and had surgery to improve blood flow.
One of her pills that I would never even think of her taking is Viagra, because it helps with the blood flow on her hands.
Jamie may still need some amputations, but she is preparing for that.
People with prostheses live incredible lives, you know.
Christy Myers, 13 Health Check.
Jamie's doctors say they will continue these treatments as long as they're helping her. In Austin, her professors and classmates received antibiotics as a precaution.
Hi, I'm Jamie Shanbaum, and I'm here to tell you about my story. Well, I go to UT. It was my first year attending UT, and it's the month of November, and school year's almost up. I'm studying for tests, and I'm taking the day off. Wednesday night, November 12th, and I was at my friend's house. And I noticed a new freckle that was on my arm, and I knew it was new for sure. And so I tried to WebMD it, and I didn't find anything. And I started not feeling well that night and didn't think anything about the freckle at all. And I was just like, you know, I have a headache, kind of nauseous, don't feel well. So I asked a friend to stay the night at her house, or at her apartment, and she said yeah. And over the night, I began to become very nauseous and throwing up, and probably threw up about like 6 times at her place, and each time the walk was getting progressively harder. As in when I was in the bathroom, they have tile floor, and it was cold, and my feet were really cold and really sensitive to it, and I started to walk on towels or shirts or anything that was there to stop me from feeling the cold. My sister comes over and notices I don't look good, look purple, I'm cold, and we both decide that I need to go to the hospital. But my apartment was conveniently close, maybe 2 blocks away. And from getting from my door to my car, it probably took me about 5 minutes, not because the car was far, just because it was hard for me to walk. And by the time I got to the hospital, I literally couldn't walk. I told my sister, I can't walk, I need a wheelchair. I'm in the hospital, and once I am in there, in my wheelchair, I am rolled next to by these two nurses, and rolled a short distance and got to the bed, and there were 7 more people around me, and all commotion around my bed, and I looked over and I see my sister having a conversation with this doctor. I was always not able to move. My hands and legs, they felt like there were tons of sand in it and just not able to move it, lift it, or anything. When I would tap my hands on something, it sounded like metal on metal. Like, no, nothing like that. It was just like metal hitting metal. And I'd go back to bed and wake up, and it would get darker and higher up on my legs or higher up on my arms. And that happened like the whole time. And I got black. I remember being like, I'm just black. My hands and my legs are black. What's going on? Like, and I'm also thinking at the same time, I'm like, when am I gonna get out of the hospital? Like, I got tests to take. Those 3 weeks went by pretty fast. I did not leave. They actually said that they were going to amputate my arms at mid-forearm and above the knee. And then my family decided that was not a good idea. So my family started looking for different doctors. We finally found a doctor that was in Houston, and on December 11th, we were air flighted to St. Joseph's Hospital. When we were in Houston, I had 50 dives in a hyperbaric chamber, which is what Michael Jackson uses, which brings oxygen to my body, which evidently did save as much as it did. They amputated my fingers and below the knee on February 6th. Let me just add, before the surgery, I was in and out of different surgeries for different reasons. I can't remember. I was on so many different drugs. But by the time this surgery was coming up, I was feeling just, it's going to be like any other surgery. Nothing's going to go wrong. Like, I'll be knocked out. It'll be fine. But I was definitely warned this would be the worst day of my life. I remember waking up and I couldn't talk because there were tubes in my mouth. And when there was tubes in my mouth, doctors were around me and were trying to assist me with different stuff. And I couldn't move, and I was in so much pain. And I couldn't talk either. So could you imagine trying to express your emotion, like, don't do this when you can't move or talk? It was February, and then March comes, and April comes, and I'm thinking I'm going to get out of here. I mean, I've already been in this hospital for like 3 months. I need to get out of here. May's coming up, and probably like 3 weeks before, I was finally told I'm going to be leaving soon. Finally. I leave May 3rd, which is on a Sunday, and I drive with my own, not me myself, I drive with my family to Austin, and we're supposed to go to St. David's immediately for rehab, but I went home to see my animals because I love my animals and I miss them. It was definitely sad when I saw them. At the end of May, I got out of the hospital and I was home. And before that, though, I was already fitted with prosthetics, and you know, I didn't know how prosthetics were going to work. I didn't understand like what I was going to be capable of doing, but basically my prosthetist said that I'll be able to do anything that I want to, as long as I keep trying and don't give up. But literally, I will be able to do anything that I want to. So being on my prosthetics is just really hard. I mean, they say it takes 3 months to be fully comfortable and walking and stuff. But man, it's been a long journey to where I am. I'm not even at that 3-month marker point. Maybe in November I will be. But I've had so many different, like, people come out to me, so many gifts, so many letters, so much support from different places around, you know, the US and Mexico and different parts of the world. And, you know, just thanks. Thanks to everyone.